Hey everybody, this is Linda and welcome to Lenny P's Place. I'm here today to show you the results of my fabric dyeing. I did the ice dyeing method. I just wanted to try it out and see how it worked. Well, I didn't have any powdered dye, so I went on Amazon and I didn't want to spend a lot of money buying the real expensive powder dyes. So I looked around and I found this, which is the one-step tie-dye kit by Tulip, and it has a good bit of stuff in it. I think I paid $13 or $14 for it was all. And the dye already has the soda ash in it, so I didn't have to buy that separate. So I tried this and it did work, and actually I'm pretty satisfied with the results I got. So I may a little later splurge and get the better quality stuff. But for now, I think this worked pretty good. I dyed a piece of cheesecloth. And for any of you that don't know how to do the ice dye method, you can just put that in on YouTube and you'll find tons of videos on how to do it. But there are two different things. If you're going to dye like yarn or wool, I think you have to use the acid fabric dyes. If you're going to do cotton and polyester and t-shirt and stuff like that, then you use the one that you use soda ash with. So anyway, that's what I can tell you about that. So I started off, I wanted to try some cheesecloth, and of course the colors are pretty limited. The only thing I wasn't real happy with is that I really didn't get any yellow in here, and I only used 3 colors. I used the wine color, the yellow, and the green. I didn't use any pink, and I didn't use the teal. But this is what I got from the 3 colors I used, and it's more purple and blue than I wanted it to be. But you know, I've really been having fun. I'm just experimenting with different types of things to dye with. Now this pretty much only shows up as blue. And I noticed too that depending on the type of fabric I used, I got a different result. So this is cheesecloth. Now this is called cotton scrim. It's like cheesecloth, only it's got a little bit more tighter weave to it, I guess you'd call it. But look at the difference in the colors I got. And I used only the same colors, and I did it all at the same time. And these were like sitting right beside each other. And this has hardly no blue in it at all. It's mostly green, and it has a little bit of yellow, but not very much, and a little bit of red, and some pink, and a little blue. It just seemed like it took the dye, it took it in a different way, and I really like the colors that it turned out, much better than the cheesecloth. And then this is a piece of a t-shirt, and I just cut a piece off, and I just, you don't really wring them, you sort of just scrunch them up like this. So I scrunched them all up and pulled up some little pieces, had mountains and valleys on the top, and just laid them all out side by side and sprinkled all the stuff on pretty much evenly. This one didn't get anything here or here, but and it's much brighter on one side than on the other, but you can see the different patterns that this made. I'm pretty satisfied with that one. This was a piece of linen. Was this the linen? No, this is a piece of flour sack. It was white. All these were fabrics were white to start with. This was a piece of flour sack fabric. And it had a little bit of rust on it, which is still on there. Little spots of rust. I like the way this turned out. It got real bright right here, and the rest of it's pretty light. On the side, it's a little darker because this was the outside side. But I really like the way this turned out. I actually ironed these, which isn't not something I do often. This was a piece of a cotton or no, I think it's a linen. It's hard for me to tell sometimes, but I see the little lines in it. It's pretty tight woven. Piece of a dresser scarf, and I love the way this turned out. And it also had some stains on it, and where the stains were, they still are there. But that was the inside. This is the outside of it. But I really like the way it turned out. It's got a lot of places in it that look like flowers, and so I'm planning on doing some stitching practice on this piece. I think it'll be pretty. So there's that. This was an old piece of an old linen dish towel, and it's a pretty loose weave on this. There again, it's just brighter all the way around than these others turned out, but I like it. I even like the green stripe. I think it matches well with this. And then this was a piece of linen I bought, and this is a piece of that. A big roll of linen at the thrift store, and I paid like $3 for it. It must be, I don't know, 5 or 6 yards at least. It's not a real stiff linen. It's more of a softer, but I really love it, and I think it took the dye very well. The next time I do this, which is going to be when I get some better dyes, because I want to do just like browns and gold colors and maybe a little really dark green. These are more, rainbow colors, I guess, or I don't know which one to call them. This is just a piece of regular cotton, and it, again, took quite well. I think it was a piece of an old shower curtain or something. It had these button holes all the way across it. So I just cut off a piece of that because I wanted to try it. And I like the way it turned out also. And then this was a piece of an old salt bag that I have. It's a big bag, and it used to have salt in it years and years ago. So this is a vintage piece of, well, I call it a feed sack, because that's what it's about, that size, but it had salt in it. And anyway, I cut a piece of that, well, I tore a piece of that off. And it took, still in a different kind of a way. I mean, it still looks old and vintagey. The dye on this looks faded out. And down here, it didn't, take as well here. There's spots in it, but I really like the way that turned. I like the way they all turned out. And then this was another piece of linen. And I think this was some that I bought. I think I bought this piece here. And it was bigger than this. It was about twice this size. And I cut a piece of that off. And it really took it a lot brighter, real bright, as compared to the other. So I guess it just kind of depends on the fabric that you use, exactly what type of results you get is what I've come up with. And I liked all the results, and I would use all these fabrics to dye again because I like the different results that I got. Now, a few weeks ago, I tried rust dyeing, and I don't know if I showed you that. So if I did, I'm sorry. I'm going to show you again. How they turned out. Oh, this is a piece of linen. This is a piece of the linen that I bought on the big roll. And I tried making a scene out of it. Didn't turn out very good because it's not very bright. But I used watercolor crayons on that. And it's not very bright. I don't even know if you can even see it. I'm not an artist, that's for sure. But I just was playing around and wanted to try it. I've been doing a lot of playing around with my fabrics. Oh, that's another piece that I used the crayons on, and that was an old, I don't know what color it was to start with. It must have been, maybe I got coffee dyed it, I don't know. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to show you. That just happened to be laying on top of these. Okay, this was some sari silk that I tried rust dyeing. And I'm not too happy with the results of this. I don't know. I just don't care for the way it looks. It's too orangey, I think. But this was a piece of cheesecloth. And then these were just some pieces of cotton. And I guess they are okay, but I was hoping for a little more of a different color. I was hoping that they'd have a little gray or something in them, but everything in it was just like a rusty orange and nothing really is any other color, just darker. I did have some little ball chain there. I liked the way that turned out, but to me they just, I don't know, they're just not very pretty. Maybe I didn't have the right things to lay down. I laid down washers and safety pins and some paper clips, and the shapes didn't really turn out very well, and I just don't know what I did wrong. But I'm not real happy with the results of these. And then I tried to dye a piece of lace, and just like the rest of it, it's... So if you're watching this and you can tell me what it was that I didn't do right, because I watched some videos, but evidently the ones I watched, I didn't pick up what they were laying down, so to speak, because mine didn't turn out very well. My sari silk turned this really not very attractive green color with these, because it was a cream colored sari silk, and all it did was make it kind of this ugly green. So anyway, that's what happened with my rust dyeing. It wasn't a success at all. I call that a complete failure. So anyway, that's it, and I just want to thank you for stopping by and checking out what I've been up to. And if you have any idea why my rusting turned out this way instead of something pretty, would you please leave me a comment below and let me know? A nice comment if you don't mind. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Be safe and stay well.